Letter to my unborn son when navigating this circus of a lifestyle. First of all, I would like to apologize for whatever Afrocentric name your mother and I agreed upon, and the playground jokes that will come from them when the bullies come for you. They will come for blood. Show them your notepad instead. Tell them no one can put you through more pain than you can. Then make them read the poems that you wrote until your wrist ran dry. If you're not a poet, then you're not my son, and your mother's got some explaining to do. In which case, you can pretty much ignore the rest of this poem. Secondly, if at any time you feel I'm being too embarrassing, do not tell me. This will only cause me to do more childish things. On your 17th birthday, we'll go to the moon, have dinner with the man inside, then reminisce on the boys who look like you that did not make it this far. See, son, unfortunately, around here, black boys don't make it out of 16 alive if, by the time you were born, I've lost all muscle mass. If the bodybuilder has faded from my skeleton, I only ask one thing, that you pretend, at least for the first 50 years of your life, that I am the strongest human being that you have ever laid eyes on, so that on days when the pavement pounding and pencil pushing leaves me in a state of depression, you can somehow convince me that our car rides were like rocket ships, that you imagined you were spending time with your favorite superhero. Tell me you saw capes on the edges of my fingertips, that I often held a football like a planet, that you imagined I was passing the world to you. Tell me whatever it takes, because the way these student loans are looking, son, I'm going to need as much encouragement as possible. Be an elephant, son. Go nuts. Never fear mice nor men. Be a cannon. Blast in every direction. Be candid. Be a firecracker. Have a short fuse. Never explode in front of the cops. Always avoid cop cars. Pay for your education first. Avoid the urge to buy cars. When the police attempt to paint the sidewalk with your face, approach them the way clowns do. Make them wonder if the tear on your cheek is painted on or just frozen in time. Always run from danger, son. No story to tell is worth your life. They will kill you the first chance they get. So learn to disappear without warning. Never let them see you sweat. Be sweet. Be swift. Switch. Be gay. If happy is what you are, have strength. Be straight. Be the thin line between love and hate. Be black and a man. In spite of what this country will tell you, it is okay to be both simultaneously. When a woman approaches you with a smile like a tightrope and a body that says she is okay with falling, when her walk is an unopened apology letter, when she smells the way a father smells just before breaking a promise to his child for the first time, when her laugh is a collection of wedding rings hitting the ground, run the other direction. I can tell you a few things about her. She will be the best girl you've ever had. She's got some unresolved issues with men. That tightrope in her smile is the only thing holding it together. Those are not diamonds in her teeth, son. It's broken glass. See, the last man she loved kissed her the way wrecking balls kiss the neck of abandoned buildings, hugged her the way jackhammers hug the spine of a sidewalk. She will be a construction project the city could not afford to finish. You will not have the tools to fix her. Don't let her trick you into trying, boy. Don't you ever in your natural born life leave this house without your skin color. Black is a burden we wear proudly. Means we come from something. Means we've been everywhere. When you meet your first white boy that makes you want to shed your skin, just take me to his father so I can beat the bigot from his son's bloodline, so we can attack the source of the hate. So the next time that N-word plays acrobat on the tip of his tongue, the ringleader in his voice box just decides to skip that act. If by the time you are born, I've left this life, if the curtains close on my heartbeat before my son is able to form memories, do me a favor. Tell him a few things from this poem. Tell him his father once took fire in one hand, hot dogs in another, and made dinner. Tell him I cooked for him. Tell him I always made sure my vision was 20/20. Tell him I looked out for him. Tell him he looked like me, that we were close to our roots, and sometimes we looked at trees. Tell him I'm sorry, but sometimes God calls his angels home early. Sometimes people just die. Make no excuses for me. Do not tell him that I'm on a cloud somewhere watching his every move, nor that I'm on my way to heaven at this very moment, and I'll get there faster if he just prays a little harder. Tell him Sometimes the devil just wins, and it sucks. Tell him his father is either residing in heaven or hell, depending on my personal relationship with God. Tell him death is real. Tell him God talks. You're going to have to listen, explain that death is real. Tell him whatever it takes so that he understands his father was a lion that cannot be tamed, that same blood runs through his body, and he cannot let me die in vain. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God. Funny how hand positions change over time when saying those lines. Becomes less of a pledge of allegiance, more of proof to the officers that you are actually a citizen when they arrive on scene August 28th, 1955. Money, Mississippi. A little boy with a cannon for a heart is ejected from the barrel of a bridge. Bullets made confetti out of his face. They even tied an elephant-shaped cotton gin to his torso to sink him to the bottom. He had an entire circus act in the bottom of the river, but no one clapped when he emerged dead. I guess death wasn't a part of the act. Emmett Till was not a victim. He was a magician, changed the course of an entire civil rights movement, and all he had to do was snap his neck February 4th, 1999. Amadou Diallo put his money where his gun was, shot down on his front porch for holding a pistol-shaped wallet. They thought he had a weapon. He quite literally didn't have a shot, so they gave him 41 on his front porch. He only caught 19 bullets. He was 22. 2 times 2 is 4. He was shot down by 4 officers who fired a little over 40 shots on the 4th of February at 12:44 a.m. The Fourth Amendment states, no illegal searches nor seizures. He was not a victim. He was one seizure away from setting procedure. November 25th, 2006, Queens, New York. They rang Sean's bell, the kind of bell that rings, the kind of ring you wear to a wedding, the kind of wedding he was on his way to. He's got a gun. They fired 50 shots into the car, killing Sean and wounding the other 2 passengers. One of the officers even stopped to reload the way an artist stops in the middle of painting to admire his work. He fired 31 pastels into the car. Sean Bell was no victim. He was a canvas. And all he had to do to earn his spot on history's wall forever was be shot to death October 3rd, 2009. Victor Steen, a 17-year-old black boy riding a rocket ship down an empty street, was ordered to turn in his wings and pull over to the side of the road. Officer, you don't understand. See, that man in the moon? Yeah, that's my dad, but he may never come back if I don't make it to him tonight. He was just trying to reach for the stars. The taser tied an astronaut in his throat. The officer even drove over his body before removing the taser metal from his torso. There's no metaphor for that. It just hurts. The last thing he felt was the weight of the car's wheels on his chest. No wonder he was out of breath. He was just tired. August 5th, 2014. Beaver Creek, Ohio. A toy soldier by the name of John Crawford was relieved from duty in the action figure section of Walmart. He walked around the way many PTSD patients do when relieved from battle, gripping his weapon tighter than his grip on reality. He awaited orders from his commanding officer of a mother on the phone that day. Sir, welcome to Walmart. How may I help you? Hold your position. Sir, could you stop waving your weapon like that? Hold your position. Sir, I'm calling the police. Hold your position. Put down the weapon. Hold your bang. Whoever says you have the right to bear arms was lying, and he was a tiger let loose on a jungle full of poachers. That day, a mother lost her son. A father lost his junior, the way a fraction loses its better half when multiplied correctly. There were multiple shell casings at the scene, none of which belonged to the BB gun. John Crawford was no victim. He was a war hero with a gold star on his straitjacket. September 10th, 2014, Saratoga Springs, Utah. Police received a call of suspicious behavior and almost immediately went on a Darien hunt. A young black male in a 93% white community wielding a samurai sword. It is believed that once a samurai sword is drawn, it must taste blood, even if it is from the owner's body. They say he lunged at them, which means that he is the fastest assassin who ever lived, because all 6 shots from police were in his back. The media keeps calling this an altercation. I don't understand why they're spelling execution like that. I've never heard slaughter pronounced that way. September 18th, 2014.
A Houdini by the name of Charles Smith was found in Savannah, Georgia. They locked him in a cage, shaped like a police car. He took this as a test of his magician's skill. It's not his fault. See, as black men, we tend to have an unearthly desire to escape. He was still learning new tricks. What he meant to do was reappear outside the car, uncuffed. Instead, he accidentally made a gun appear in his possession. Good thing. The police are used to magic tricks. It was nothing for them to make his life disappear. January 24th, 2004. Berkeley, New York. Timothy Stansbury, January 1st, 2009. Oakland, California. Oscar Grant, January 29th, 2010. Portland, Oregon. Aaron Campbell, March 7th, 2012. New Orleans, Louisiana. Wendell Allen, March 13th, 2014. Lawton, Oklahoma. Daniel Martin, August 9th, 2014. Ferguson, Missouri. Michael Brown, I apologize if I have trouble pledging allegiance to a flag that has been determined to do us part and leave our black bodies dangling at the altar with liberty and justice for all.